Hi everyone, Kat here. The other day someone said something to me about making bone broth and that they thought that might be quite difficult, and it's really not. So I just wanted to record this short video and show you how easy it is to do. And I did want to talk a little bit about what the difference is between bone broth and chicken broth. Bone broth actually extracts all the nutrients from the bone, which is why you would want to have that if you're not feeling good, or if you have any type of gut health issues, leaky gut, GERD, acid reflux, any of those things. And it's really easy to make. So over here I have just a plate full of vegetables that I pre-chopped up. I've got celery, and notice how I've got like the greens from the celery. Those are really great to use for the stalk so that you don't let them go to waste, because most people usually just throw that out or they juice them. And then onion, that was like a half an onion, and a couple of carrots, I think 3 carrots. I also have Himalayan sea salt, which I really love, black pepper, which we're going to put in there, apple cider vinegar by Bragg's. One of the things I really like about this is that it's really healthy. And why you want to put a couple of tablespoons of that in with the in to make the broth is because it actually extracts the nutrients from the bone, which is where you get the health promoting properties. And then this is just a little something extra, my secret weapon. It's smoked paprika. I really like this because it changes the color of the broth, makes it a little deeper, a little richer, and I like a smoky flavor to things, so if you like that too, then add some of that. Another thing you could do is if you have beets really make a gorgeous broth. So if you have that, cut up a couple of those raw, throw them in there too. I don't have any of those today, we're just using what we got. So in the pot, this is my stock pot. That's a whole chicken, it's raw. Empty out the cavity before you put it in there. Usually has the giblets in there, so just take those out, put it in. And then from there, I'm going to start with the Himalayan salt. You can measure this if you want, probably like a tablespoon or so, but you know, I like to just kind of eyeball it. So that's about a tablespoon of salt. I'm just going to throw that in there. Black pepper. You can add as much or as little of any of these as you like. I like a lot of black pepper in mine. Like I said, 2 tablespoons of this, but I'm going to just eyeball pour it. That's like 1, 2-ish. Notice I'm not really big on measuring spoons. Then I'm going to put the smoked paprika in, and you can see it's like a really pretty color. It tastes delicious. Add that right on top of the chicken. I like a lot of that too. And then just add the vegetables. You just kind of push those right on top. Don't have to be fancy, nothing fancy about it. Okay, so seeing that, that's all you have to do. Now we're going to just add more water to bring it up. You want to get as much water in this pot as you can, because this is a long process and you want to make as much as you can. You don't have to have it, eat it all at once. Once it's done, you can freeze it and save it for whenever you need it. You can make soups with this. You can use it for cooking. You can just heat it up. Quite honestly, sometimes I heat up maybe about 6 to 8 ounces of this in the morning if I'm in a hurry and I don't know what to eat, which is often. So I'll just heat that up and have a cup of that, almost like instead of tea or coffee, because it's loaded with protein, and again, it's got these health promoting properties. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this up on medium-high. So when that comes to a boil, I'm going to then turn it down and simmer it. So I'm going to turn it down to medium-low, and then I'm going to simmer it for 4 hours. After 4 hours, I will remove the chicken. I'm going to take the chicken off the bone. Any of the big bones that you have from the chicken, you throw it back into the stock pot, because you want to continue to get as much of the nutrients out of the bones as you can. If you don't have time for that, because obviously this is going to be now from a 4 to a 6 hour process, you can freeze those and use them for another time. But I usually do it early enough so that I can just, again, take the chicken out, let it cool a little bit because it's really hot, remove the chicken from the bones, take the bigger bones, put them back in there. I don't put the little scrawny ones back in there because then they're kind of tough to weed out after. Cook it, simmer it another 2 hours, and then remove all the bones. You can certainly eat the vegetables once you're done. That's always a nice treat at the end of this big process. And then store whatever you don't use. Just, strain the broth off, put it in containers, and then just freeze it and use it for whenever you want. So simple, easy peasy. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen.